But even with the vaccine bringing hope, the funeral home industry is calling for support as the pandemic continues to spread. Fox 61's Brian Ditlake talked with a few and has more.
The impact of the more than 6,000 COVID-related deaths is striking and shocking for many here in the state of Connecticut, but it's essential services like the funeral homes that say that they're working around the clock to keep up with an unfortunate demand.
Funeral service as a whole is an industry that needs and could use support.
Howard Hill is a funeral home director based out of Hartford and says he has seen an increase in calls for services like his within the past 3 to 4 weeks. This increase of calls to service is a direct correlation with the state reaching an unfortunate milestone in the new year of more than 6,000 COVID-related deaths.
We figure maybe 1 in every 4 or 5 cases are COVID cases.
The Connecticut Funeral Directors Association says looking at the numbers from the state is alarming, but doesn't cover the impact they see every time they get a call.
The light switch turned back on and it was full steam again. But the second wave, it seems like it's much more out in the public, where we are delaying many funerals because we'll have a death come in and the person might not have even succumbed to something COVID related, but a member of their family is quarantined.
David McDonald says from last year to now, his industry hasn't dramatically changed, saying there are more safety practices, but says he can't deny there has been a change in the, quote, human interaction part.
Emotions are always high at this time, but there's so many other factors that they're dealing with. There's so many more obstacles to overcome in what is already an extremely difficult time for people.
The number of COVID-related deaths has more meaning to people like Hill, who says it impacts more than just death.
To me, that means that my community and communities of color are passing at a tremendous rate, and it's really, really concerning.
Hill says there is still a reality check that needs to be said, saying COVID-19's effects on minority communities are still high. And just because there is a vaccine now doesn't give every person of color the much needed relief.
People are also confused. They don't know what to do about the vaccine, to take it, not to take it, given, again, our historical experience here in America. People are really doing their best to try to adjust.
Hill says adjusting has been hard for some, as information related to how funerals can be conducted may vary from a funeral home to funeral home.
Essentially, capacities are limited. For example, at many funeral homes, you're limited to the size of the building.
We're also seeing this with clergy in some churches. There's many denominations that may say, hey, whatever the governor's decided, here in the state of Connecticut, we're limiting attendance to only 25 people.
In Hartford, Brian Ditlake, Fox 61 News.
Brian, thank you. Workers in a few funeral homes are set to start receiving their first dose of the vaccine starting next week. Funeral home directors say this will help them better serve the people.